tried to fix it, but failed. The audio is bad. Oh, oh. So I made this so you wouldn't get back up, 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 up.
Here we are once again in the shed, and I forgot my pipe, and I can't find a lighter. What to do? That's the job. Nimrod pipe. I've never seen one as well with this sort of finish to it, but it's a bit battered, but it makes it all the more charming as far as I'm concerned. So, how are we all doing? I hope you are well. I am okay. I'm going to come in the shed and shut the door because it is blowing a gale out there today. And plus, I have to change mics, so I'm hoping this sounds okay. If it carries on sounding okay, I might just stick to this mic. But this is like a non-powered one that you just plug in and it runs off the camera. The other one I had its own power source, but its own power source is a little square 12-volt battery, which is all well and good as long as you can remember to turn the bloody thing off, in which I sometimes don't. So then, like today, I come in and I've run out of batteries. I've used them all now, and every single battery ran out because I'd left it on overnight, and it just killed it off. So there you go. That's what happens. That's the dramas that happen behind the scenes. But yeah, bit of good news. I didn't say nothing at the time, but I was really gutted, right? Because I took my boy down the park. This was probably a couple months ago now, and I took like this little wallet thing with my pipe. Well, a couple of pipes fit back here. So when my boy sees his mates or whatever and disappears and leaves me on my own, pipe, you know. Well, I did that, went there, come back, I bought some food, and we were on my bike, and at the time I bought a bit more than I'd thought about, and I trying to fit it on the bike, because I had my boy on the back, and I had to try and get it all in the bag on the front. And when I got home, couldn't find it anywhere, and I was sure I picked it up. Thought, it's got to turn up, I've got to have stuck it somewhere. My missus had turned up with it saying she's found it, you know, under something in the living room or something, but no, it didn't turn up. I finally accepted it and given up on it, and my boy was jumping on my bed at home, and he made the mattress sort of slide off the front, and when I looked down the back of the mattress, there it bloody was. It was behind my bed, and the thing is, I don't normally take my pipes and that up in the bedroom, so it must have been in a bag, and I'd gone up there and I was taking that stuff out of the bag on the bed. So although I did kind of look up there, I didn't think to look down the back of the mattress and the headboard and all that. So yeah, so I was chuffed because it had this little it had one of my Biford pipes. I had two, and I snapped the Rustica one because it's got like the stem screw in, and when I got this one it was jammed, and I was trying to get it out, and I got it out, but I think whoever had it before for some reason had glued it in there, so it just snapped the shank. So I was a bit gutted about that, but then I thought I'd lost the second Biford pipe. I got this one, which is a little Shalom pipe. Probably saying it wrong, but it's little, it's lightweight, vintage. It's got little you know, stamp on the stem still. It's also got like this strange like ridge down the front of the bottle, which is interesting. And when you're out and about, it's got really thin walls, and if you're out in like where it's cool, so the heat can dissipate, it helps keep the smoke. Don't work. Hopefully keep the smoke working. But anyway, I'm waffling on about pipes. But yeah, I'm chuffed because I found this pipe, and got it back. But yeah, so I'm smoking this, and I got some finishing off a jar. I got a couple of cheap tins of. I really only bought them because they were cheap, but the BBB. Can't remember what the BBB stands for. Summit Briar, Summit Best Briar, is it? They do pipes, but they obviously bought a tobacco brand, which a lot of pipe companies do. And it's the Oriental mixture that I got left in there. I got a bit of it left, but just wanted to jump in quickly here and make an amendment to what Sean just said. It's not the Oriental mixture. I think it's the Danish mixture. The reason why I got it muddled up is because the story with the finding the pipe bag, it also had a little pouch with some tobacco in it, and I knew it was one of them. But the Oriental mixture, it's not that. It's this one, and it's not cherry, but it's got fruit in it. So I just wanted to make that clear before someone just picked that out and went, "What the you're on about?" Not like that doesn't happen on a regular, but to carry on the show, back to you, Sean. Well, it's alright. Smoke, nice smoke. So anyway, waffling on as per usual. Yeah. Yeah. Back for another snuff review. Back to do one of Simon's Simply Snuffs. His Simply Snuffs that have actually made the name not so simple, because you end up going Simply Snuff, or just Simply Snuffs. But it's not Simply Snuffs, it's Simply Snuffs. So it's got to be Simply Snuffs. Snuff. I don't know. Maybe I think about these things too much. But yeah, doesn't really matter. You know, we all know what it means. And today, we are doing...
Hello chums, Simon here. Sean's doing one of my Snuff's horse feathers. I think if you haven't already, you should get yourself a tin and give it a good sniff. Oh, all the actor says to the vicar. Chin chin. Romeo, no!
Horse feathers. Yeah, it's another one that takes its name from Marx Brothers film. Haven't watched it personally, but I had a couple of clips, get my head around it, you know. But Simon, he's a fan, so that's what he's named him after. Yeah, so let's crack into it. See what it's saying. Okay, to look at, it is, to tire an old phrase, a chocolatey brown. Not a dark coffee brown, but more of a milky chocolate brown. I've said several times while doing this line that I think they're all the same colour, but I actually sat down and opened up a few tins and put them all next to each other. And although they are similar colours, they do vary in shade. Yeah, they're slightly, some are slightly darker than the others, and so on and so forth. But as for grind, that's pretty consistent. I would say it's medium fine, but more towards the finer end. But what saves that fineness is the fact that it's chock full of moisture, which makes the fact that it's fine, it kind of negates it a little bit and makes it a little bit easier for you to chew. So yeah, as I say, it's the same as all the other. It's a joy to brodle. If I had a swimming pool full of it, I'd probably jump in it. Maybe one day for comic relief we can arrange for that to be done. get all the snuffy viewers together and make them all dive into a swimming pool full of snuff for charity. It's all for kids, of course. It's not some weird fetish that I sit and dream about at night, I promise. So anyway, tin note. Okay, out of the tin, I'm getting mainly the aniseed. And here starts my problem with this snuff. I'm not a lover of aniseed snuffs, which is, I found really strange, because I thought I'd like it, because I quite like licorice sweets. I used to love aniseed balls and that when I was a kid. I mean, it says star aniseed, but I'm pretty sure that's still just, you know, a different type, but it's still the same sort of basic makeup of aniseed. But yeah, I thought I'd really like it, but yeah, and like when I'm smoking pipes, I like it when it's got the licorice taste in there. I used to even smoke roll-ups with licorice papers and all that, so I thought I'd like it, or just like the aniseed snuffs in general. But ones that I've done before, like the one that McCrystal's doing, I don't generally like. I don't know, it doesn't sit well for me in the nose. So anyway, after tin note, you're getting a bit of that aniseed, and then it's like a herbally scent, which I'm guessing is that it's meant to have sweet basil in it, which I think, you know, as Simon said it on his video, it's different. I don't think I've come across it before, but it gives it a bit of a sort of planty, herbally level to it. But anyway, as I said, don't like aniseed normally, but that is not the end of the story. So let's crack on. Let's jump into the pump. Oh no, I'm dropping it. Okay. So bad I can't whistle. God, it's got a burn, man. This one wants to karate kick you in the face, which I absolutely love. I love a good burn. But yeah, this one cracks you in the nose. You know about it. It fills up your sinuses, fills up your head. I mean, this one even almost gives me almost a not an out-of-body experience, but sort of like, for a moment, it's like my vision goes and that. Like, sometimes if I take a real big bump, everything goes fuzzy, you know what I mean? So, I mean, this is what I will say about the burn, yeah? Today, I was obviously looking to do this review. Woke up this morning, and I've got one nostril that's blocked. Can't breathe, nothing for, you know, it's completely sealed up on my right nostril. So I'm like, you know, got to do a review. I'm tempted to buy some nasal spray to try and just clear it out, but I try and not use that stuff too much because I used to use it a lot, you know. But I think, yeah, no. So I thought, okay, I'll just have to do the review with one nostril. So I banged it up this nostril, and this thing's got such a burn and such a way of working its own way through your sinuses. It actually managed to unblock my right nostril, even though I took it up my left. So this is just to give you a peek of, like, you know, how much it wants to burn and sort of travel through your sinuses. So for me, it comes on like this. I get a burn, it wafts around, it shakes my sort of head a little bit. I'm first confronted with the aniseed, but it peaks very quickly, and then the aniseed will tail off a little bit. And then that's when I start getting that, like, bit of a floral note. but I can't identify any of what that floral is, so I'm not 100% sure it is. The only way to explain it is a floral, but I think it's more of a plant smell, you know, that's coming from the herbiness of it. I'm guessing at that, you know, but that's what it possibly could be, in my opinion. So as that sort of floral note comes on, then you start getting that sweet basil-y smell, which on paper I was a little bit like, that's going to be a bit weird. But it works surprisingly well. It's not an unpleasant smell, and it kind of fits in, you know, quite pleasantly. As I say, the burn just keeps on ticking. It's one of them snuffs that just keeps on giving. There's no quick wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, with this one. This one's going the full mile. It's, again, it's easy to take. Little bit fine. If you do hit it too hard and it goes too far back, you know, that burniness can sort of like start to fizzle the back of your eyeballs if you're not careful. But yeah, it's got aniseed, but it's florally, planty, and it goes into that basil, and then as it's sort of like floating around with that basil, the aniseed sort of for me comes back again, and you can smell it floating around. It's like a basil-y aniseed scent. Has it got menthol in? Big question mark. I don't know. I don't think it has. I think it might be the aniseed. I don't know. I'm not a chemist, but that's causing this, because the burn feels different. It's not a cold burn. It's not a hot burn, but it is like, it's, you know, it's, I want to use the word it's a warm burn, but it's not like a chili or anything like that. I mean, it might have a bit of menthol in it, I don't know. I'm not telling you 100%, but it didn't say nothing about it on the description. I don't think Simon said anything about it, so it might be the basil and the aniseed working their magic. But, you know, it's still a nice, probably a bit much for some people, but, you know, it's got me right on my limit, and I enjoy it. The burn, that is. Aniseed. I don't really like it. That's the only downside for this for me, is I'm struggling to enjoy the aniseed, and it's just, that's the bit that sort of knocks it down in my rating. I don't know. So I don't think I can give it a seal of approval. Every other aniseed that I will do or have done, I've ended up not liking. So I don't want to give it an F though, and it's for this reason. If I had sat here, right, cracked this open for the first time, took a few bumps, I reckon I would have sat here and gone, no, aniseed, don't like it, can't get on with it, it's an F, I'm sorry Simon, I can't do it, it's, you know, giving it the old, you know, it's, you know, it's preference, I'm not knocking it, but for me, it's a not a winner, right? But the more I force myself to take it, the more I'm kind of coming round to it. Now, I wouldn't say I love it yet, but I certainly don't hate it anymore. Yeah, the more I've used it, the more I've sort of come round to it. So I think I'm going to have to bang it in the middle, give it a C. Put it in that category where it's It's not amazing. It's not, in my opinion, it's not like top of the bunch, but it's a solid snuff. There's nothing wrong with it, and there's a fair chance if them ingredients tick your boxes, then you may like it, you know, much more than me. There's no failures as such. There's nothing that's wrong with it. It's just that it's not my taste. Who knows? If I carry on doing it, I might end up loving it, because if you go back through my videos, I used to say this about menthols, but obviously I kept forcing myself to keep taking menthols, and now I love them. I couldn't live without them. So yeah, that's where I am on it. I can't really say any more than that. I would say that, in my opinion, yeah, it's alright. It's not amazing, but it's a solid snuff, and you know, you may find you love it. But I think, you know, aniseed's one of them things, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it. People either can't get enough of it or can't stay far enough away from it. So, you know, it's just the way it is. For the people that love it, it's going to be brilliant. For the people that don't, it won't. I'm just a weirdo that's sitting in the middle on it at the moment. You know, I'll probably, you know, pop it out every now and then and probably have a little toot on it, but I don't think it's going to be staying in my rotation for very long. So there you go. There you have it. There is my opinion on horse feathers. I hope I haven't disappointed too many people. Hope it sounds right. As I say, I'm using a bit of a different mic. This mic's annoying as well, because if I put it too close to the camera, I think it picks up the Wi-Fi signal. So you hear a so if there's a ticking in it, I apologise, but I thought I fixed it. But I'll be damned if I'm going to do this review again. So, yeah. So now we've got one more left. Oh, bit of back drip there. Sniffed it back. Oh, it's not exactly nice on the back of your tongue. But, yeah. There's that, I guess. Nick, if I hadn't already said, is banging, because it's a rustica, you know. I can't really pick up too much tobacco in it myself. Maybe my nose just isn't sharp enough for it, but this one is like, all the forefront stuff is the ones that's playing the instruments. The tobacco's just a roadie. He's supplying the drugs, the nicotine. Yeah, I'll leave it there. I'll stop waffling on. So I am going to say, whether you smoke a pipe, toot a stick, whether you pinch or toot and set it back to front, but who cares? Remember to come back to the shed, and until then, I shall bid you farewell.